Hello and welcome to the 51st episode of Magical Boot. This is Ronnie. I have Shudipta. Morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. Um, I don't know. There are so many things going on. How about you?
Same uh, as always. So, we're doing a start. I mean, we're supposed to cover Premier League as well as Serie A, uh, and probably
Actually,
some.
what a week to cover with Premier League now.
Yeah, it's ongoing. I mean, still not finished, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's jump it on then. English Premier League. Where do you want to start?
Right now, Manchester City is the league leader, so maybe from there.
Okay. Well, my question is that obviously they're so predictable in terms of win, except that odd Liverpool game. Um, so is it very clear that they're? I mean, obviously Arsenal is still on the hunt. Um, who can stop City or on the big
Actually,
match?
it's not that clear. When I saw the match, if you, have you actually watched the Brandon Rogers how can I say, the interview before like a match? Yeah, the interview before the match actually,
Yeah.
in the press conference. So like, he was saying like Haaland is not there, so like he was about to do a knee sliding. So as soon as he got the news, but on the serious note, he was telling that like if you deny the space of Manchester City, City is not that actually extraordinary, and like I watched that match actually, like except for the goal, for some reason I
Didn't
was
see the goal for this week for the change.
yeah.
Okay.
I was actually cooking at the time. So funny thing was that like last like no, it was before 80 minutes actually. Like for 20 minutes, Leicester actually created a lot of pressure, and like City could not even like how can I say, like get any sort of space or any comfortable area. There were attack actually, but it's not like they created any expected goal or something like that from those sort of attack. Probably one at the end, very end, but uh, s- yeah, Leicester created actually more clear chances at the time, and they were actually like closing up the spaces, and it was actually 11v11 match for those 20 minutes. So like, and when we see that like this sort of things happens like against Crystal Palace or like Newcastle, City is has hard time to breathe and stuff like that. So like it's not that actually obvious, I would say. um, and there will be an interesting fight. But like City will have some upper hand against Arsenal, but it will be fun to watch actually. So far,
No, as you're mentioning about spaces, like if you deny space, even teams like Arsenal or any
yeah,
team with technical
anything, yeah.
skills would suffer. Uh, but that's Brendan Rodgers being Brendan Rodgers. Uh, Coming to that, it was an important win for City. Nevertheless, I mean, um, if I think of City and Arsenal, I mean, obviously Arsenal is playing some brilliant matches, but again, there are a lot of games to be played. And what's your thought on Arsenal so far? At least the Premier League, not talking about the Europa League.
It's only like one third of matches has gone
Yeah,
so far.
and
Um,
also Arsenal probably
yes.
didn't played a lot of top, except few.
No, actually, it was better than cities. There were like points comparison, like how many points City achieved against like top teams, and in average, how can I say, position of of those team, and there were like a comparison with Arsenal in the same parameter, and Arsenal has like faced better opponent than Manchester City so far,
Okay,
like
so
up
I
until
just
like 10,
so
10, 11 matches. So um, I'm not sure actually, like, but so far I understand from uh, Arteta's points of view. There are also like things going on in Arsenal as well. Like those are like in planning stage. So far, I know the board actually approved like 50 million for summer. So far, I heard. It's not sure
did you say 50
for us.
million?
Yeah, 50 million for winter. Sorry.
Okay,
Uh, So there will be some new players
reinforcement.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, in January also there is a talk going on. They will probably have their actually. Where is this Emirates Stadium? I don't know. Like which country? I actually confused with all those Arabic countries like
This is UAE,
Qatar.
United Arab Emirates.
Oh, okay, yeah, UAE. So like there is a talk going on with the UAE Federation, like they will set up a camp around the World Cup um, uh, in UAE, so that like or in Qatar, I'm not sure actually, but just to be close with the players who are playing with in the World Cup, and after the World Cup, they will join in this camp. Like there is this talk going on, so that is the outside part, and the inside part, like there is like still 5 for 6 matches. I guess like for the uh, up until like January probably. So if they get some result right now, like there are like some sloppy football going on in Arsenal.
Hmm.
Like player seems a little bit tired.
And it's
Like
hard to keep the intensity for a long time, right?
yeah, they were playing. I don't know, like in the same intensity for a while. Like at
Yeah.
least like if you count those 3 4 matches of okay, Europa League and 12 matches or 11 matches of 11, yeah, 11 matches. So like it's almost like 14, 15 matches. So and also like they don't have big benches, like so it was a problem. There are also injury issues like with Zinchenko still not fit, and Tomiyasu is playing as a right back and left back, both positions. So it was actually a little bit, how can I say, inconsistent from Arsenal, at least for like last 2 3 matches, like since the Leeds United match. And and there is another thing, like people did not give Leeds United enough credit, and they showed it actually today. It was unbelievable. But if you saw that Arsenal match against Leeds the week before, not this week,
Yeah, was
um,
tough.
it was really tough, and Leeds were coming at it like to Arsenal. And what I said before, and you just quoted it, like if any team is not given that sort of space, it's hard to play.
It's hard to put it.
And Premier League actually getting how can I say, it will be more unexpected. I would say in January. So it will be hard actually, and but it will take shape in December, January, that time of the year. So up until then, like as an Arsenal fan, probably I will say, oh, okay, let's go for it. But um, as I saw like so many Arsenal fan videos and so many with like Ian Wright, nobody is like, we are not jinxing anything.
Yeah, yeah.
So
No,
yeah.
no, fair enough. Meanwhile, it talked about Leeds and Liverpool. Struggle continues. I mean, Liverpool is as close to, I think, the closest to relegation than anywhere near, like say top eight even, like in the Conference League spot.
Yeah, about that actually, like I want to talk about Leeds a bit more, because when I saw that the team, like everyone is stressed, even like Kifo IRL
Mm.
published a video like about Leeds is not doing well and stuff like that actually. But what I saw, like there were some matches like they got the just they weren't just lucky, you know. Those players are like in the right position, right time, everything was going well, but they're not just lucky enough to get some score or something like that, or turn over a
Or,
penalty or stuff
or
like
they
that
just
actually.
made some silly mistake, like for example, um, the mistake today happened with Gomez, the first goal for Liverpool that Leeds scored, and
Mhm.
Gomez made a mistake. Leeds were doing similar mistakes, like a lapse of concentration in a second or something.
That is another thing, and also, yeah, Jesse Marsh was talking about about it. Like he was like saying like he was really upset about it. Like they are not getting like enough good result, and they are playing well actually. And when I saw like that Arsenal game, Liverpool game, those two games are like like they beat Liverpool in Anfield, and Liverpool was undefeated since like March 3rd of 2021. So it was like even City could not beat them actually. So like almost a year and a half, more than that actually. So it's a brilliant result in and it came
No,
with a process
definitely, definitely. I
actually.
mean, Jesse Marsh is already been rumored to be sacked. The fans were chanting El Loco's name, Bielsa's name.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a brilliant result. I mean, there are a bunch of very talented footballers out there in the leagues, but the results were not going for them.
Yeah, actually, like about that, like I think it's also about he has not actually came from a like a strong so-called like strong countries for the
Football,
like
yeah.
football. Yeah. So um, uh, American coach, like as an American coach or as an American player, it's like always hard to play in the Premier League for some reason. I do not
Well,
understand
no,
that.
not so much right now. I mean, I would say, yeah, I can understand a little bit. There's not much people take it seriously. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but he's doing so far well. But there are some like I would say like they
But
fall
they're in
behind
the
in the summer.
relegation zone, right?
Yeah, yeah, but it's like how can I say like Bournemouth lost that game against Liverpool, and
Yeah.
up until then, like Tottenham would just beat them. So and I guess like Arsenal beat them few weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was like a undefeated streak. So like so many teams and is having this sort of thing, and this how can I say like this relegation zone is like
Ever
is
changing.
changing.
I totally
Yeah.
understand. I totally understand that.
Um,
But let's focus on how big the win for Leeds, because nobody actually expected them to earn points in Anfield. I mean,
Me neither actually.
yeah.
I did not watch that game.
Uh, but what's wrong with Liverpool? I mean, they just got beaten last, if I'm not mistaken, last weekend was Nottingham Forest. I just have a red shirt for Nottingham Forest. Uh, and Nottingham Forest got a win against Liverpool. Now Leeds, they seem to be struggling with whoever is going into the relegation zone.
Actually, if you have seen the quality of the teams playing this Premier League right now, it's like I was thinking about it like when I was watching the scores from the last time I was in the bus actually, um, and it was hard to make sense out of it because like Steven Gerrard got sacked. Everton had a good run for like 5 or 6 matches. then they got
Well,
actually
Steven
demoted.
Gerrard is not a football coach. First of all, he's not a football coach. Let's not even go there. We'll come back to Steven Gerrard a little bit later on Aston Villa. But uh, you're talking about quality. I understand some of the smaller, so-called smaller team are getting very, very quality players and quality coaches and stuff like that. Uh, but isn't it Man City beating like them handsomely every weekend?
Yeah, but that is Man City. Like they had a team for like last 6 years. They built it, and if you see their if you like check their like first 26 or 27 players in the squad, there aren't any mistakes in signing or stuff like that. Like everything went well so far, like the last 6 years. So that's why they are there. Liverpool was almost there,
Yeah,
except for this season.
yeah.
Um, Arsenal is like trying to get there. I don't know if they will be ever to go there that level, but it's sort of like a
They're building up,
four
definitely.
five, yeah, 3 4 seasons, like a 3 4 transfer windows away. Like they built around it, and now they are like two or three, like no three, like but 1 or 2 transfer window away from that level. Actually, like summer transfer window, like a real one. That's so like what I'm saying. Those teams, for those teams, everything was changing, except like for Brentford, probably for a while. Graham Potter was there.
You mean Brighton?
Bournemouth had, sorry, Brighton, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Brighton. And Brentford was like really stable, I guess. Like mm, now, Newcastle is trying to do something. Uh, how can I? They were in the relegation zone in this time of the year, last year, if you remember, and
Now,
now they are
now
actually
they're actually fighting for top
sitting.
four. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is this is going like really crazy, and anything can happen. So like those teams actually have time, and there aren't like any sort of like a huge, how can I say, like a, okay, these teams are like fighting for top four. These teams are fighting for top three, the next three position, and then it's
No,
not like that actually anymore.
no. There are a
It's
lot,
the
lot of
whole structure is broken.
lot of applicants for
Yeah.
that. So
Exactly. Even like Aston Villa would fancy themselves in like top 10 position.
yeah, let's probably yeah. For now, I guess the biggest challenge for Aston Villa is to stay up, and
Yeah.
I think they've done the right thing by sacking Mr. Steven Gerrard, who's I don't know what he was doing there. I think they've got a better manager in Unai Emery,
Yeah.
and let's see
But
what
what an unfortunate way to start.
yeah, no, I totally get that. It's
No, but
just
with Emery, it's like I don't know, like it did not uh, go well with Arsenal. But Arsenal was a different case because
there's a lot of
uh,
pressure
yeah,
for
and
different
also
kind of
like
pressure.
yeah, exactly. Also, like at that time, Arsenal board like as well. They are not like giving any money for him to spend or something like that.
And
The
I
amount
think
of
there's
money
a
Arteta actually spent, he didn't actually get that sort of money. And also, like Wenger created this team for like 25 years, so most of the players actually like came up for a system to play, and Unai Emery is not like Wenger or stuff like that. So
no,
like
it's a very very
there
different
were
kind of coach. Yeah.
yeah, so like after 25 years or 26 years actually, it was tough for him to actually change that much in one and a half year probably or stuff like
You know,
that.
you just touched on a very interesting topics. I think I was watching Thierry Henry talking about Barcelona and Xavi's situation, and he talked about if it was not Xavi, the whole structure would have fallen down. I mean, the club legend. We talk about what the club legend as a coach brings. what it brings is a little bit of more patience from the supporters, and a little bit more license from the spending authority. You have more budgets. So Unai Emery didn't have that as Arteta would
Mm.
have, right? So
Yeah.
uh,
Also, like Arteta came up at the time like when Arsenal failed to how can I say like qualify for Europe um, for after I don't know like 20 years probably,
yeah,
more than 20 years probably. So um, yeah, at the time, so like Arsenal board was also desperate to bring someone who they can trust,
I think
and also like
Arsenal was in Manchester United mode.
yeah, exactly. But it was not actually that bad because Arsenal was winning trophies. Well, United was doing that with Mourinho. Probably it would have actually worked if they can get some like I don't know like if they gave him
Some of the
some
top,
time.
or bring
Um,
some of the top commentators to the management job.
yeah. I know what you meant, but yeah, if they gave him some time, it would have actually turned around because they won Europa League United at the time, and Arsenal was winning FA Cup. Even like Arteta's first season, he won it. I guess like Unai Emery also did that actually, and Arsenal is like the probably the yeah they won it more than anyone else so far in the history.
Yeah. No, just going to focus on, obviously Liverpool needs something need to change in Liverpool, but we did talk about some of the player selection and some of the player transfer they've done, such as Arthur Melo
Yeah.
getting in and getting injured.
After Melo is out of yeah of the World Cup, I guess like up until the World Cup.
Well, he,
Like
he he's not fit to play.
yeah,
So
he's coming
it
in
doesn't make
January probably.
sense
Yeah.
if you're bringing him as a backup of an injured player, and he has such huge injury record, and he as a backup got injured. Um, and also there are other injury problems within the Liverpool team, and obviously the big signing Darwin Nunes is still not finding the form, and obviously Salah is not hitting the same form as well. But coming back to Liverpool, I think a lot of things has to change for them to keep at least going. It didn't actually start. People have thought that after winning the game versus City, they would have just kicked on, but it didn't happen. Um, Something need to change. I mean, and something has changed uh, at least for Manchester United. Can we say that? I mean, they've got some very good results of late.
Yeah, true. Actually, for Liverpool, I guess like Klopp cannot say like he's going to play the same 11 or at least like 8 9 players in a row, except for the three forwards because like these three that is that all he has now right now. They don't have any substitution, so and it all goes back to the midfield actually. And we have been talking about it for years now, that they need to reinforce the midfield, but it was not actually it was doing its job, but like similar sort of profile is coming, like the all three of them has like similar profile, like I would say like um, and if you are playing a foreign team like that is what happened in the Champions League so far. Like they played twice against Real Madrid and we got beaten. And because there weren't any, if you compare that Real Madrid team, their midfield is probably their best in the history.
Yeah,
Probably one of
very
the
very versatile. Yeah,
yeah, probably if you consider the Champions League history, it's probably the best ever there as well. in the club level. So if you want to compete that, you have at least have to have some sort of like a creative alternatives, and they're always like playing in flats three, um, and there is nothing coming up except like Alcantara was playing well, if but his form is also like inconsistent, except for the first season and the season they won uh, the Champions League, I
Hmm.
guess.
Hmm. No, yeah, spot on. I did mention about Manchester United. Obviously, I'm not going to go into the dive into the drama that has happened with Cristiano and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, we can definitely touch upon it, but something has changed, at least on that dressing rooms, and players start to believe there's attitudes has started to flow in, and they're getting some big results. I mean, obviously, except the loss versus City, and I think they've done fairly well, at least against some of the big names.
Yeah, they did well against Arsenal, Liverpool. They did well actually against. There is another
Chelsea,
team,
Tottenham.
Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea. Not yeah, Tottenham. Yes, exactly. Tottenham game probably. We were talking about it like it was their so far best
Yeah,
game they have played this season. But the thing is that like when there were previously disciplinary issues with players, and so many players were complaining, and coaches actually did not have that authority, and now the Eric Ten Hag is having. So more, for example, there were disciplinary issues in the Mourinho time. So far I remember, there were few issues actually. There were issues with like I don't know, like whoever was there. There were some issues, and um, star players are like not, how can I say, um, they are not actually giving they were not actually like just disciplined at all at the time, and nobody knows, and everybody was saying like if they're not playing well, the coach will change, not the players. Those players played like for some players played for like 4 or 5 years, even though they don't have any qualities or
and
anything.
huge salaries.
Like yeah, exactly. And the contract was continued to be extended. Actually, I don't understand. Like for when Mourinho left, why Juan Mata was there for like 3 4 years. I don't even know that he was there. I thought he retired or something like
I
that.
thought he was playing in Galatasaray, which he eventually did, but I thought it was a lot early. Um,
But what he is doing now, they want to play a certain way, but there aren't like those sort of players, so they have to play another way, but which is understandable. And actually, Arteta made it like 2 years ago, almost like they won FA Cup. Uh, playing this sort of football, and now they are playing a different brand of football because of the personal they have. And one more thing with Ten Hag, I wanted to see actually is that like more academy players coming up, but I'm not sure actually about that, because like Manchester United Academy is different than Ajax Academy or Barcelona Academy or like Arsenal Academy or City Academy right now. So I'm not sure actually like how many players will they can bring, because like those players actually makes the team sustainable a
yeah,
little bit.
yeah.
Um,
There are a
and
few. There are a few United academy players I've seen.
And yeah, like, and also like there are players like Casemiro coming up. It also actually gives some players like
Solidity. Yeah.
McTominay, yeah, McTominay, like a sort of idea, like what we have seen so far from Real Madrid. They are actually like masters of this sort of things, like bringing up new players and like assimilating and them with in different position. um, and also if you watch the last match, I guess like it was
Chelsea
in
draw.
last Sunday. Yeah, the draw. It was a fun game to watch.
Yeah, it was really good
It,
goal. Yeah.
yeah, and I actually missed the first half. And the commentator was saying probably was a change from Graham Potter because Chelsea was outplayed in Stamford Bridge by
Eric Ten
United.
Hag. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he made the change, and they were sort of equal, and Chelsea scored at first, and Casemiro actually scored, and we we have seen that actually from Casemiro for quite a while, like sneaking behind the striker and try to get something out of the set pieces. Um, and also like it was sort of like a Manchester United mentality so far. Like
And also, I
they're the
mean,
queen of
obviously, Varane got injured. I don't know how bad it is. He would look to be in tears, but that brings a new dynamics. I mean, how the Martinez and whoever is starting is going to get together, right?
Lindelof was playing, and I guess like Maguire brought on last match. But I'm not sure about that actually,
Yeah.
because Ten Hag is also like a little bit favor of Maguire. So good for him, because if he gets some time there, then um, he will get into probably the English team for the World Cup.
Oh,
But
he's gonna get there anyway. Yeah.
yeah, but not like undisputed or something like that. That one, but I can understand that like from attacking point of view, like his passing range is a little bit wider than other defender, except for um, uh, you know who. Um, but what I'm trying to say, like the Ronaldo incident, it sort of like tells that story right now from the dressing room. That Ten Hag is like okay. I actually had a questions in the beginning of the season, like if he bench, if he had
Guts
regards to bench Cristiano, but
at
he
Manchester
has now.
United.
Yeah, but that cult actually he owned the cult by by the performance and like bringing up some players like Casemiro, especially at the end of the season transfer window. It was actually sort of like it is starting to shaping as a
He looks to
Ten
be in
Hag.
more control. Yeah, because of
Yeah,
the some of the results going on his way.
yeah,
Uh,
and like this actually make a lot of more sense like it's sort of like common sense because like if you are blaming this guy for the whole performance of the team and at the end of the season if the performance doesn't meet this guy get to go, then you should actually, how can I say, don't put this guy in any sort of chains, like he should give some sort
or
of
he should
like a
have given a
freedom.
little bit of freedom. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I absolutely like how he handled Cristiano. I mean, he didn't really disrespect him. He just disrespected himself. He put himself into that situation, not just once, twice, and he posted something in Instagram. Whatever he said, I don't know what he said. Basically,
He's not
no,
apologized
no,
for
no.
that.
He didn't apologize. He said about his spirit. He respects his teammate. Actually, he didn't do it. Um, he just left the field
He
when
never did actually. Like, if you remember, like it has been quite a while, like for like last year and a half, since they won something last time, probably in the Nations League. After that, actually, there were a few incidents like throwing armbands for like
for
twice at least
Portugal.
for
Yeah,
Portugal.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
so
He
you
has done that. He
couldn't
has done it
have
always.
this.
Even with Real
Yeah,
Madrid winning the Champions League, the day Real Madrid won the Champions League, he said to the reporter that I'm leaving. It's all
yeah,
about him.
yeah. and it is because like Messi was getting more money at the time, just because of that actually.
Yeah,
Um,
it's been obsessed with Messi, but I think that he's the biggest Messi follower right there. Um, but coming back to Ten Hag, how he handled, I mean, nobody is above the rule. This is the rules that's set, and you know, if you don't follow, he'll be penalized, and he done it in a respectful way. He didn't do it in a disrespectful way. Uh,
Also, I've seen his pre, pre-match and post-match interviews, and he like reporter was always trying to put something in his mouth, but he did not actually. Also, I guess like it's also because like his English is not that good, so
that
they could
helps.
not get.
That helps.
So it sometimes helps.
Yeah, or he can pretend that he didn't
Yeah,
understand.
of course.
I've always found that with people that you're saying something and he wants to avoid and saying, "No, I don't understand English." But coming back to United, obviously they're going through some great run, and let's see how they do. But the news is out that De Gea is not even in the top 55 players list in the Spanish national team. Your take on that, David De Gea?
It makes way a lot of sense. And also, Graham Potter actually, how can I say, revitalized Kepa for some
Yeah,
way,
he did.
and he's like probably I don't know, like for some last few matches he made, I guess like quite unbelievable saves, and even like this that Casemiro goal, it was like tipped out of his hand. Um, so I'm not sure. I would actually like if he continues to be in form, I would say like Kepa would be a strong contender. But
Unai Simon,
there is another, yeah, Simeon is like better choice, I would say.
because he can pass it better.
Mm, Kepa also does actually. If you
But Kepa,
remember,
sometime I understand he's doing very well, but Kepa always
but
give you
he's
that.
out of,
There
yeah,
is a one mistake in the somewhere there. It's gonna bring
yeah,
it here.
yeah, exactly.
It's like
But
Geronimo Rulli.
sort of, but. Um, I think Simeon will be there, but Kepa can make some sort of like a surprise. How can I say
Competition.
appearance in the competition actually? Like for if you remember that Van Gaal tactic to bring goalkeepers
Yeah.
just before the penalty shootout. So like we can see that from Luis Enrique as well. Um, but there is another thing with the Spanish team. I don't see that many of goalkeeper. Like uh,
Okay.
like at least if you yeah, not in the even in the Victor Valdez level at all.
No. Let's
That
let's
level.
not go there. I just thought because he's such a highly regarded in Manchester United, David De Gea. So I thought, just
No,
wondering.
yeah, it actually makes sense in a way because United was not actually playing that sort of football before, but right now, but the next season you will see like
Probably another keeper coming out.
the
Yeah.
first the first thing Ten Hag will do is that the next summer is the signing a new goalkeeper who is like good in good on feet, and there are quite a few even in the English. There is
Premier
this
League.
English goalkeeper. Yeah, I forgot his name actually, but yeah, like he's in the on the line. Probably he was in. I forgot his name actually, but yeah, he's in on the line.
Not talking
And
about Foster, right?
no, not
Okay.
Foster.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a young lad. I'm not sure. We'll see. Um,
Uh, okay. On that note, like obviously, you did speak about Graham Potter a few times. Have you watched the game? His older team, Brighton.
Well,
bidding.
when I saw basically Brighton scored the first goal, and then I was leaving, and I when I saw how they're playing so far, and I was like, okay, they smell blood.
Blood. Yeah,
So
exactly.
so it will be I for some reason I did not see Chelsea is coming back in that match for some reason, um, and also I guess like we are sort of like a Thiago Silva hater.
No, we're not. I mean, I'd like to see him starting for Brazilian national team because Tite makes his mind 3 years ago that Thiago Silva is going to play. So he's going to play. But again, now that shows some vulnerability that how to, I mean, Trossard basically found a way how to press. Yeah, I was talking about how to press Thiago Silva. Mr. Leandro Trossard can write a book about it. And how much I like this Brighton team. Obviously, they're full of energy, full of vibrant players. But I've already said I like Roberto De Zerbi a lot from his also solo days, and I think after 2 or 3 games, it starts to show that he is starting to cook something very delicious with this Brighton team.
Yeah, exactly. Also, Thiago Silva was doing that PK thing we talked about last episode. He actually he did two
Did
how
one
can I say
clearance
like
to be honest on the line,
two
at
clearance
least two.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah. So from the goal line, but he's not goalkeeper. He should press the player up, not waiting in the in between the goal bar.
yeah, yeah. But Chelsea was kind of clueless, at least first 35 to 40 minutes.
And it's his first defeat as a Chelsea manager. Um,
And the most interesting thing was the Brighton fans were cheering up, saying that Graham Potter, you're going to be sacked in the morning. Uh, yeah,
well,
that's
they're fun to watch sometimes, but it it was actually sort of a hard game. But I'm not sure because sometimes he's like still understanding the depth of the team and understanding like how the players are doing, and unfortunately, it's one of those matches
yeah.
like we cannot do anything more.
Yeah, no,
So
no, fair enough. It was just a fun game to watch. One team
yeah,
is full of energy, full of pressing, and they've done so well. I mean, Marc Cucurella looked like he he plays like amateur football. Um, but anyway, let's not go there in deep diving. Uh, any other team that is? Oh,
but
obviously,
if you see that like Brighton did quite well also like in the last the last week against Manchester City.
yeah,
Um, it was a although 3-1, but playing City, especially they have few moments that could actually go wrong for Manchester City. So this team is like uh, probably getting back there because they were in the top four for a while, but after Potter leaving, then there were I guess like this is their first win after that.
yeah. But I was impressed with Trossard way before as well, and I think he deserves to start.
Trossard is getting like more. How can I say? Like he's more in the free zone, and probably like how can I say? Like he's going everything well for him so far.
What is more interesting is Brighton's scouting. I think they're on the conversation with Rosario central midfielder, 17-year-old uh, Benate. I think he plays for Tevez team. He's very, very one of the interesting profile players coming out of Argentina.
Rosario Central has like so many players right now.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure like is if Tevez is the right coach for them. I don't know.
No, no, no. Tevez done really
Um,
well. Tevez done really well so far.
yeah, I know that, but like for them, like as a personal, I'm not sure about that actually.
But yeah, anyway, what I'm trying to say is Brighton's scouting is one of the major reasons that they're doing well. Uh, do you want to touch on what's going on with Tottenham? Um, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously they're winning. If they're winning, that's not really
N-
greatly.
no, actually they won after 3 matches.
Yeah,
And there were YouTube video from Arsenal, sorry, Spurs fans, like Arsenal broke them in half. So it was fun, fun to watch right now. But yeah, like every press conference, Conte is starting with like, I don't judge refereeing. Then he complains about referee, and, he's like, one thing is consistent from Spurs team right now is Conte's complaint.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I can
but
actually see if they're not doing well in this. They're not doing great in the Champions League either. I mean, the
no, actually,
performance.
like how they're playing as well, it's not that exciting. If even like if you compare them with like teams like Brentford, they have, sorry, Brighton, they have like a certain ways of playing. If
Even
you compare
Bournemouth
them,
is more off late.
yeah, after that defeat, like right
Yeah,
now, it's hard to like create something out. But for kudos to Spurs, they came back to the match
yeah.
after like 2-0 down. It is hard like right now for them. But um, if you compare, if you have seen like all those goals came from actually set pieces, and they're except for one, I guess. Like, but uh, Spurs is like really good in set pieces these days, and also counter attacks. Those are like their main sources of goals. So um, Conte is trying to like be a little bit consistent, and unfortunately, that those matches were against Arsenal and United, and he was talking about uh, bench depth, especially after losing um, what's his name, Kulusevski and Richarlison at the same time. It was like it actually loses their shape, so he had to adapt. But except for that, like they have quality players in everywhere in the team, so they could have actually done better. I don't understand those some of those complaints as well.
Well, that's
And in the Champions League, they have this game against Sporting, I guess. Like that goal of Harry Kane was cancelled, and it was clearly offside. And they now have you seen this new offside technology?
yeah,
It was like really brilliant and beautiful. But still, he's complaining. Like everyone is sort of like that Mourinho era. Like everyone do everything just to piss on him or something like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's making sure we don't miss Mourinho much. But out of those all complaints, actually, I liked one of them. It doesn't make any sense, but I liked it. Liked it because he was talking about the Champions League game that offside. He said that in any other uh, home game of a big club that doesn't happen. So he's saying that because Tottenham is not a big club and other big clubs get a favorable calls from the referee in or back up by UEFA or something. So if he has proof, then why doesn't he go and just prove it, right?
Yeah,
Just talking pure
exactly.
nonsense.
But
Anyway, what I think is happening with Liverpool is somewhat is happening with Tottenham, especially in the midfield. I mean, you have um, similar kind of profile in terms of players. They're not much
yeah,
creative, um, and all the hardworking players, and and not getting much from, like, creative wise. There's nothing much. You basically summed it up by saying either counter attack or set piece. That can take you up to so long. I mean, after a certain period of time, you will drop, the intensity will drop.
Yeah, exactly. But they are still in top three, except like, but they played like 13 matches already.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Um, so any other team we didn't? Oh, Newcastle. We actually didn't talk much about
Newcastle, yeah,
Newcastle. Um, how brilliant are they?
they're in the top four. And I'm not sure actually, like if they somehow manage that um, top four,
Hmm.
they will go for like uh, top four in the middle of the season. They will go for it actually because they don't have any European games, so like they will have like 4 or 5 days of rest
Yeah.
and go for the next match. Go for the next match. So it will be a little bit easier for them in a way, but also game time is also important. So let's see how it goes. But if they made it, I'm not sure. Like if, but probably not at the end of the season because of experience and everything else. But how they're getting momentums in the in and getting, how can I say, like a new, they create something out of nothing sometimes in the games. Um, with all those players and which is like, how can I say, brilliant to watch
A-
sometimes.
And I just wonder if did you ever see Bruno playing in that midfield? How he plays
I don't think he watches English
Premier
Premier
League?
League.
No,
Yeah,
but he calls a lot of
no,
players from there, right? No.
yeah, it's because of the names only.
So
And also
anybody
like
sees Bruno
someone
Gumier, what's his last name? Gumieres?
he I don't understand, like Fred will get into the first team,
How
but
does
Fred
it make
has like
sense?
only one or two. It doesn't make sense, and like I don't know, like, but sometimes they, some of the Brazilian supporters like who favors Tite, they justified it by saying that like it's because of combination of the team or some stuff like that, the combination in the field. But like if you are a brilliant player, you can adapt any sort of system, and young players like Bruno, he's going to adapt. Like he has more adaptability than
He has
Fred
brain.
or
He
anyone.
has brain.
Yeah,
He can read games.
exactly,
Yeah. It's been.
exactly. And he picked the moments. Like it's brilliant to watch. And if he continues to do that, and Newcastle is going to play Champions League in like last in the next 2 3 seasons, um, and they're going to be there. But I'm not sure actually. Like Callum Wilson, he actually came back. Like it's been a while that like he's in form, and there are talks going on with like him going as a second striker for England in the World Cup. Um, do you think he's like you have seen his performances, right?
I really think he should be taken rather than
Anthony,
Abraham.
Anthony,
You mean West Ham's Anthony?
yeah, West Ham's Anthony.
Um, I don't see Anthony as a very prolific goal scorer, but it suits the style of Anthony's play and the England the way the England play. I can understand the profile being matched. Um, I would take. I mean, I don't know.
There are actually certain similarities between Anthony and Harry Kane, and Callum Wilson is like direct striker. Like he's like if he gets chances. He's not going to create anything, but he's going to be
No,
probably.
but you needed. I think somehow the English team's football hasn't evolved much. Like you need an Alan Shearer sort of striker on your box, right? Uh,
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
true. But there are players. I'm not sure about it. Like when I think about, because like last few weeks, so many players are informed. Like Madison, I'm not sure if he is going, or even like that player, Conor Gallagher. He was brilliant last season. He had some ups and downs in the beginning, but last 3-4 matches he's like brilliant for Chelsea right now. But historically, Mason Mount actually brilliant, and he's now in form. And for Southgate team, um, I don't know, like for some reason Mount fit better than Phil Foden. If
Yep,
it makes sense.
yep, it does. But yeah, coming back to Newcastle, we were talking a little bit of
And
Newcastle.
also, like, have you watched that match, Newcastle versus Tottenham last week?
I did watch highlights. I didn't watch the game
Oh, okay.
live, but yeah,
That was also a brilliant game, and also like a sort of like a statement. And for some reason, Almirion, like, if he plays any matches, he scores or assists or anything. I don't know what happens to him or what happened to him, but Eddie Howe is like, I'm not sure, like if they even they're not going to bring out like some superstar or stuff like that. They are probably making some superstar right now, uh, and it will be hard to take away players from Newcastle. They have money now, so it's sort of like, if it I want them in the top four right now, but I hope that they're not making it this season, but for the next season, obviously, because of the like consistency and stuff like that, so that their plan doesn't have to be evolved too much, and they don't have to be bring too much player, if it makes sense. I'm
yeah,
because
it does because then when you're in Champions League, then you're suddenly if you're not really prepared, then you're getting a lot of attention, getting a lot of pressure to do well, and you're bringing a lot of panic buying, uh, you know, and that
that actually happens to Chelsea quite a few times. Chelsea won Europa League twice, I guess. Like in between that time, they won once like Champions League, and the next season they won Europa League, because they were relegated from the Champions League in the first group stage, and they had to play Europa League. If you remember, and that time, like for some reason, uh, Chelsea. Chelsea was the champions of the league, and then the next season they were like seventh or eighth in the for the position they finished. Um, and then they came back to the Champions League and they won it again, and then it goes down, and like it's sort of like that. And there were some panic buys at the time. So I think it's a good example
yeah,
so far.
no, it is. But I think I hope, and it seems like they have better people working for them, at least behind the board. So you never know. They might be a little bit prudent so far. At least they're showing it.
That's true. Um, but do you have anything else
No,
in for
not
the
not
Premier
really,
League?
not really Premier League. Oh, let's move on to
Italian,
Syria. Right.
I guess. Yeah.
So Syria, it's cooking really well for Napoli. I mean, whatever they're touching is getting gold, and they have revealed a statue, left fit statue of Diego Armando Maradona. But your thought on the whole Napoli thing and how they're cooking it?
But it's not Maradona time, it's Maradona time.
Maradona, yes.
He assisted twice, and then he thought like, okay, I should score a goal.
We're talking
Then
about
he looked,
today's game against
yeah,
Sassuolo,
today's
right?
game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I just mentioned to you in our private chat, like um, this Napoli team is like 2006 Italian team,
Hmm.
because there are
Hmm.
like so many strikers are in form. Like that time, Totti, Tony, Del Piero, everyone was in form,
Gigliardini.
and
Yeah.
Gigliardini was playing as a winger
Hmm. Hmm.
because yeah, no one else will. Or if you remember, probably it was in 98 World Cup. Shearer was playing as a winger sometimes, or as a second striker.
Not really. He was
Uh,
at number 9. Owen
Actually, I
was more
saw
of a
him.
floating 10.
Yeah, actually, like I saw him playing in the wings and making crosses at the time.
Oh, yeah, there could be times, obviously, but he was the main man, right? And he was probably on the top scorer list with Batistuta and in that World Cup.
Yeah,
Yeah, but coming back to Napoli, uh, I don't know this team looks. I mean, normally we were saying that Napoli at the second half. Let's see how that happens. But this team looks so much.
I was I was doubtful even like in the beginning. Like let's sit it on. Okay, let's sit it on.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, after qualifying as in Liverpool group, like without losing any match so far, like five matches, and they're unbeaten, and they actually
Not
won every matches so
not
far.
just that, 20 goals they've scored.
And yeah, that is the highest goals probably right now in the Champions League for the team, or it is PSG. I'm not sure,
No, I think
but yeah,
it's and there's a game on hand. Good luck to Liverpool. But the way they're playing, whoever they're putting in, be it Raspadori, be it Osimhen, be it Gio Simeone, scoring for fun. Now, if it were Spalletti, obviously we want that kind of attention, and whoever you're giving chances, they're scoring. But boy, oh boy, I mean, the midfield's been packed. Whoever is coming, playing well. Defense looks solid. Keeper looks a little bit. Sometimes that's probably their weakest link, but still he's doing very well. Meret, I mean, he's normally very good.
you actually, if you compare to other teams, except for I guess Inter, um, goalkeeper is better, like better than any other team so far in Syria.
Yeah, or even Milan, like at least for last season. Uh, but yeah, Napoli. You at this point, nothing going wrong. They're not just sprinting; they're just flying in Syria.
Do you know what is the good thing about this year? Is like that, like Italy is not going to play in the World Cup.
Yes. Yeah.
So, so it could be a good thing for Napoli as well. Like, I don't know if they milk something out of it, because actually, like only two or three of the main team players are going to be in the World Cup. Even Giovanni Simeone is not probably going to make it so far.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, even if he makes it, his backup is uh,
Yeah.
not a. But yeah, that's probably very few players going into the World Cup, and it makes sense for Napoli to go on and basically hopefully do it this time around. And I'm actually hoping to see
I
how.
really hope so, because this team they built this for a while, and they really need some to get something going. Like they did not even win the Copa or anything else, like the cup, Italian cup. What is it called? I forgot it.
Yeah, Coppa Italia.
Coppa Italia, yeah.
Yeah,
So they did not even win it, and it's about time, you know.
yeah, yeah, and yeah. So that's Napoli. I think who's in second? I think at this point it was
Milan,
Atalanta or Milan.
Milan,
Okay,
actually.
so yeah,
Atlanta is like fourth.
right.
Lazio is fourth as well.
Yeah, that's another team I didn't expect. Like Lazio is in third at this point. Obviously, point is
Third, yeah.
same as Atalanta. But
Same as also Inter right now. Inter won the last match, um, but they
yes,
played one more
one
game.
more. But Inter
Yeah,
somehow after that Barcelona game, the 2 rounds, started to click a team, and now looking like more towards upper trajectory. Um, Lukaku is back. Obviously, that's going to help, at least in Syria. Uh, but yeah, otherwise Lautaro and Jaco doing very well, and Inter looking good. Barella scoring almost every game, um, and Onana, as you mentioned, is the right choice.
yeah. It's a brilliant addition to this team actually, and we talked about probably what was his name?
Handanovic, the skipper.
Handanovic. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I guess like it's better to like bench him so far because he was the weakest link so far uh,
So
before this season.
Inter can thank Paulo Dybala for benching him. Um, but Onana making some very brilliant saves. Some of the brilliant saves I've seen from Onana. Very good keeper. I mean, um, he's done so well in Ajax, but still, as a very good keeper.
Yeah, also like another thing is like DB is in form. Like nothing is passing him so far.
Bastoni too.
We have seen that actually. Huh?
Bastoni as well.
Bastoni, yeah, Bastoni is like in the form for a while, but DB was out of form and he was missing position like in the beginning of the season. And I remember some games and also like some friendlies. He was actually running behind the strikers, so he played in the central position. If
Yeah,
he is running behind the strikers, then like nobody else is going to cover
yeah,
him.
yeah, exactly. And
So
Dimarco too. I mean, is doing well.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
exactly. So like that defensive unit is like doing well. Dumfries for some reason,
is an
I have
odd one.
always yeah, I have always doubt on him, but he's doing well so far, making those forward runs and trying to get some width. Be- but what I don't understand, like, why did not actually they bring a little like someone other than Mkhitaryan? Mkhitaryan is doing well so far right
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
but they could have actually bring someone else because they were actually like champions not so long ago.
yeah. No, I think the one he was free probably. They signed him,
Yeah,
and
Free was
I think
he was let go.
they're reckoning Franco Carboni, who's another Argentine from the academy, the youth system. They think very highly of him, and one of his brother went to the Sampdoria as a loanee, and
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought like this Carboni is the same Carboni.
no, it's a two Carboni, two
Oh,
actually twins brother, if I'm not mistaken. Both are from Inter.
because there are talk going on because they which nationality they are going to choose because Italian football they want them to play in
Well, they
Italy
both actually
for
played for
facility.
Mascherano's team.
Yeah, that story actually like it was published in Albi Celeste probably.
Yeah,
I read that actually on, but I did not recognize which like Carboni is which.
yeah. I think if I'm not mistaken, Franco Carboni is with Inter. I think he's on the bench. He was on the bench, and he played last game. Inter played against Sal. Is it Salernitana or something like that? I can't remember.
Sampdoria.
No, Sampdoria
Yesterday,
today played, but the game before he actually had some minutes. Um, and I think that
Fiorentina.
they're trying to put him as a next creative midfielder. I think that's one of the major reasons that they're not gone for someone.
Both
Uh,
brothers are playing in the same position, right?
I think not. No, 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 no. I think the other brother is more towards on the right side or right winging sort of. I don't know
Oh,
if he
okay.
played today against Inter, but he was playing some games for Sampdoria. Uh, but Mkhitaryan, I understand. Mkhitaryan is not. I mean, he's okay, and that's why you can see Lautaro dropping deep and collecting ball, and Barella making that overlapping run.
Actually, with Lautaro, you can do anything so far. Like he played as a lone striker for Argentina, and like he was not like dropping to get balls. He was like pushing the defenders backwards. So, but
Because
it was always like
Dzeko is 38, 39. He can't drop much. So Lautaro
yeah.
is doing the dropping. Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say, like, well, like it's always a striking partner. It depends on that actually.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a very, very versatile player, Lautaro Martinez. And I don't think it gets a lot of credit. At least his ability to move, pass, and drop deep, bringing players and create a gap for his teammates.
And he can play actually like two, three different types of football. That is another thing. Like people um, underestimated always.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Is it because of he's playing in Italian league or like
Yeah, could be
I don't understand.
because of that. Because if he does play, say for example, Tottenham Hotspur or any other English team, he'd be
Mm.
talked very highly every week. Um, but yeah, coming from that, Inter Milan obviously makes a little different. But coming with that inter team, obviously, the other team actually I was surprised is Sarri's Lazio. I didn't expect them to do. I mean, I anticipated that they'll do well, but they're doing well without their main striker, who's a legend of the club, um, the Italian striker.
Um, what's his name? I forgot actually.
Right now it's not coming, but yeah, it's uh, uh,
Yeah, but
Ciro
thing is
Immobile.
that like yeah, Immobile. Yeah, but thing is that like they beat Atlanta last week, and I'm not sure like what happened to Atlanta. Like this, the whole year they are playing. They're not playing well. Like since the end of the season,
No, I
but
think
they're still there. But like what we have seen from Atlanta, it's not like that actually anymore.
no, it's the and I credit still Gasparini because after Papu Gomez left, his team has changed. His team combination changed. His team Atlanta are not a very rich club. They cannot just go and buy any players. So they're
Yeah.
bringing a lot of players with certain ability, and he just changed his whole tactics, everything. So right now, whatever you're seeing from Atlanta is just a adjustment and adjustment. So I still believe Gasperini is one of the top Italian coach. He can do wonders with a good team, and he's doing fairly well in this team as well.
Have you watched that last week's game, Fiorentina versus Inter?
That was crazy. Yeah, I've
There
seen
was
that.
also some refereeing decision as well.
Yeah,
It was interesting.
it was interesting, so many levels, but so many good goals have happened. Um,
Exactly. It
uh,
could have been more actually, like 5-4 or 4-4 or
yeah,
stuff like that.
almost like a
5-5
boxing
probably.
match, like knockout after knockouts.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fiorentina, I feel for them. They're not doing that well this season. They've played some games that are well. Some of the games they're not doing really well, and there's obviously some injury problems right now. Fiorentina is sitting on 14th. Um, and as we speak of Fiorentina, Udinese's honeymoon probably is getting over. They're out of the top four. They've just lost two games versus two of the so-called, like, I think Lecce, or I can't remember was it. And then they've lost, I think, Oh, Monza. They've lost 3-2 versus Monza, and they've lost 2-1 versus Torino. That two loss pushed them in eighth position, but before that, Gerard Delafeu and Roberto Pereira, and there's other players like Beto, and looks so good team, a hard team to beat. And I have to mention that coach, I can't remember his name. He was the assistant coach and he became the main coach. But I actually like
for Udinese.
Udinese. Yeah. Just a second. But yeah, I don't know the name of the coach. He's doing fabulous job. Very young coach.
Let me check. Um, Sotil,
Yeah, Sotil. Uh, is doing
Andrea Sotil.
under Sotil.
Yeah.
It's I actually liked whatever he's cooking, and Gerard Delafeu definitely flourished under him. Um, but yeah, other than that, I was pleasantly surprised. Obviously nobody thought about Napoli doing well, and
There, there was also a game, uh, Napoli versus Roma last week.
yeah,
It was also full of drama.
it was Mourinho's team was sitting deep. But what I don't understand regarding Roma is that if Paulo Dybala is not playing, they don't look like scoring like Abraham and Zaniolo or whoever you put in.
Zaniolo is out of form also.
Yeah, I
And
don't
if you
believe he
remember, like
scored
few,
actually.
yeah, if you remember, like he actually missed quite a few chances, like in the beginning of the season, and since then, like it was like 4 or 5 matches ago, probably. And since then, like he's not like in the scoring position at all. Like it's like whenever the ball, for some reason, like it doesn't seem like he's going to score a goal. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it's a mystery. But I don't see how Roma will keep it up. Who is their goal scoring threat?
But they're still there, and Dybala will be back in January, and in January they will probably get out and seek some players for loan or something like that. That sort of things happen.
Yeah, could happen. But I again doubt if that would happen. Uh, but yeah, what's wrong with Tammy Abraham? He can score as well.
He need a supporting cast because last season he got some support, and this season he doesn't. They have those sort of supports, and also like there are some passes missing. He can actually like hold one or two defenders and keep people like like keep the ball alive and get more like support from behind in the counter attacks. Um, so stuff like that, and Roma is not playing that in his strong. So that is another reason right now. But yeah, if they are sitting deep and Abraham is bringing player, so they need some like vertical and direct runners, and which was missing because like Pellegrini or Camara or Cristante, whoever playing in that vertical position, and they're not making those forward runs. Also, like Spinazzola is not that there as well. So it's actually like causing a lot of problem for him.
Yeah. No, that's from me actually about and obviously we didn't actually talk about much about Milan
Juventus
and
or
obviously
Milan.
Juventus if you want to talk about, but Milan is actually is hanging on there. They don't look
Yeah,
like to be some games they don't look like be good, but some players come up such as last time it was Brahim Diaz scoring um, and then through and running through entire midfield, and I don't understand how he can just run through in the middle. There was no defense at all. But anyway, Milan is still there. Rafael Leao, um, i- i-
he actually scored a brilliant goal in
yeah,
the Champions League.
He did
Oh,
in the last league game, if I'm not mistaken, too. Uh,
against Monza,
yeah,
4-1.
yeah,
Yeah, he did actually.
yeah. So Milan is still there, lurking around. But Juventus, do you wanna even talk about them? Let's talk a
Talk
little
about
bit.
them.
Uh,
Yeah, and then move into the Champions League
yeah,
with them. We
sure,
can do that actually.
sure.
Um, I don't know. Like in the league, they have sometimes they have like weaker opponents
And
even for
luck.
them. And luck, yeah, they scored. I did not actually watch that game, today's game.
I actually watched a little bit of snippet, like highlights, against
Mm,
Lecce. There was, I think, one of the academy players scored. It was a brilliant goal.
Yeah, they were out of like, what can I say? Um, it seems like they are out of their depth, and it's not even in the Champions League. Uh, it's like a normal match. Last week it was also like tough for them. Like
Every day is a struggle.
yeah, and I don't understand. Like and also like there are some decisions like he's playing the same players in the midfield and trying to hope like they hope something. They played actually well against Empoli, but that match actually is actually not like some tactical games or something like that. It's like more like individual brilliance or some stuff like that. But they played like Rabio or Locatelli or stuff like that, and try they help like they hope or wish something like okay they will do something. Other than that, they don't have any sort of like technique or anything else in the game, and it's it has been like more than a year, almost a year actually, since Allegri is there, but still he doesn't have any sort of like a playing style or something like that, so like it's not sustainable at all. And given that like they if they don't qualify for Champions League position or stuff like that, he is going to be sacked. But anyway, so
Well,
even though
I
they
think
don't have any sort of like money or
no,
something
no,
like
no,
that.
no. And I think a lot of financial mismanagement happened
Yeah,
before Ronaldo and after Ronaldo. Not
yeah,
not saying a certain name, but some of the
but it's
youngsters.
not only about
No,
actually
no, 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 no,
Ronaldo.
it's not. There are a lot of deadwood players were taken and given a very high wage contracts and stuff like that. They've got some players for Sari, who lasted one season. Pirlo lasted one season, and then they brought back Allegri again. Um, again, not the right profile players for certain coach, and then when the coach has been displaced, the other players came in. Um, the other thing I wanted to talk about is some of the youngsters showing some life. At least Miretti in the midfield, Lilling in the game against, was it against Benfica? Benfica, and also Sula was one of the brightest spark today. I think he made some of the forward runs that I, I don't even remember, like any Juventus player even takes a ball and tries to do something forward, and that was encouraging to see. So again, they have to depend on some of the youngsters coming in and bringing some new bloods.
True. Also, for some reason, Paredes in the bench.
He was unfit, I guess.
Oh, okay, okay.
He had
That
some.
then that makes more sense
I think he
because
was injured or something.
yeah, but actually, I don't understand. Like they were. Can we move to the Champions League?
Yeah, let's move into Champions League. Yeah,
Yeah, we can talk about the Juventus like defeat.
Benf- Benfica. Yeah.
Yeah, I was not actually surprised, and also like this player, what's his name, from Benfica, who scored twice.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
No, it seems like a distant memory because seeing Juventus in such a way. Uh, let's uh, let's pull it up.
yeah, Rafa Silva.
Yeah, Sam Silva. Yeah, Rafa Silva. Yep.
Yeah, he's like form of his life so far. Um, but there are players like Otamendi, Grimaldo. They have like with them they have solid defense and they brought Enzo Fernandez, who is like uh, I'm not sure like if he is going to make it to the World Cup, and if he does, then it will be fun to watch him at some point, because he can actually, because Benfica is not like renowned in like keeping up, like keeping the position, and but they the Fernandez actually opened up the attackers quite a few times actually. So sorry about that.
No, no, take your time. Take a drink if you need. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, Benfica looked like a. Uh, I have never seen Juventus. I mean, obviously, the scoreline exaggerates for Juventus. It should
Mm,
never been 4-3. But
yeah.
the way it was played, the entire game, how Juventus, sorry, players like Joao Mario, who's like playing for 100 years, how he's passing the midfield was I just a revelation to the midfield of Juventus. I mean, how Juventus was playing.
Yeah, that's true. Also, right now, I guess they are uh, probably they have the similar position, points as PSG, right?
Yeah, and also if you're talking about Benfica, I should mention that Benfica never lost. I think after last season, sometime.
Yeah, 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 exactly. And also, yeah, I probably shared you a funny video about Benfica cars, right?
You
Yeah,
did.
so like so like it was probably that UCBO time,
Yeah,
right? Benfica won the what is Champions League right now, European Cup twice by beating Barcelona and Real Madrid, and their coach was not actually get he was asked for a raise, but he did not get that, and he probably cursed them. Since then they don't won
anything.
anything in
Yeah,
Europe. Yeah, so but Porto probably won like two or twice or three
yeah,
times
yeah,
Champions League
yeah,
so far since then. And also, like if Benfica made it to top uh, against PSG, both did not lose a single game,
yeah.
you know, and because of the goal difference, PSG is sitting top right now, and it's only for like 4 goals. So if they uh, if Benfica beats PSG in the last game, uh, is it Benfica PSG, right?
Yeah.
So if they beat them in the last game, so then they can actually
Or is
have
it?
sort of like a
Is it?
easier opponent in the second round. You know.
No, it's actually Juventus PSG. Sorry.
Ah, okay. Then they have more chances. Like if Juventus for some reason they can beat PSG.
I
Because
you're
because they were actually sniffing blood, if you remember, in the first game against PSG. Even though PSG scored twice and Juventus came back, and they were looking actually dangerous. So yeah, like I can actually hope, like PSG is getting second and facing someone tougher than them, and Benfica is getting away.
Yeah,
like with probably I don't know Club Brugge or someone else.
too optimistic for that. But anyway, other than
No,
that,
no, one can hope actually. Like with Champions League, like it's always about money and big
yeah,
teams, and
yeah, no, no, for sure.
we don't know it, like except for like last season's Villarreal. We haven't seen anything unpredictable for a while, you know.
True. For Champions League, obviously that group we kind of talked about, PSG and Benfica, almost certain to go in.
Yeah.
Uh, Real Madrid lost versus RB Leipzig.
Yeah, but before we get into that, actually, let's finish that group. Actually,
Okay, let's talk about it.
he, what do you take out the performance from PSG?
I think PSG this season been so far good because I think the Galtier is understanding more that whole team needs Messi, and with Messi, that team looks very very dangerous. Like Neymar looks a very dangerous player. Mbappe looks a dangerous player. Messi himself is dangerous. So offensively, all good. What I'm a little bit worried about is there some of the work in the midfield pressing and some of the work they're putting in the back back three to back four. Sometimes they're switching in. Um, I'm not sure about Marquinhos. I don't rate him that high as I would have rated him for say a couple of years back or 3 years back. I think he is not even playing right at this point.
No, he's playing actually, but he was actually substituted actually for quite a few times. Uh,
Yeah,
so far, I've seen, and Ramos was actually completing matches so
Ramos
far.
is doing better. The other players, I think Kimpembe or something. Who was that?
Kimpembe was playing sometimes.
Yeah, but there are certain question mark I put in defensive work, and also some of the players. I think some of the player choices have been quite interesting. Say they purchased Soler, Fabian Ruiz came in. What's his name? Vitinha is doing well. Uh, uh,
Solar is actually scoring for free, like
yeah,
uh, out of nowhere, and he's like in quite a good form. And last two games he scored twice, and he actually like um, link up with Messi a little bit more better than other midfielders so far I have seen.
yeah,
But they have Renato Sanchez as well, and I'm not sure actually like with this midfield and with this heavyweight three players is not dropping is it's another issue. Um,
yeah.
so they need to actually keep the ball all the time.
Yeah, the
But it's
problem
not like
problem with
it's not like
Neymar. I mean, um, obviously Messi can do some fancy stuff, but you very seldomly see Messi doing some over the top thing. Neymar, when he does it, when it comes out, it looks fantastic, beautiful art. When it doesn't, it just gives away a ball. But Neymar is doing more work in this season, I should say. You know, it's defending more. He's going down and coming up as well.
his actually position has changed since the Mbappe complained. Mbappe is more like a second striker, and Messi is like there's another striker. And well, it's not like that, but they're completely like a second striker, or like they switch positions. But Neymar is that little bit dropping down as a 10
Yeah,
sort of position.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, PSG looks good. I hope.
But Messi and Neymar is like interchange, making it changes, and they those three actually like changes a
Yeah,
lot these days,
and
and
if they
it's
can
actually
keep it,
yeah.
I think I saw 17 games, 70 goals and assist between themselves. So, which is crazy number. If they just keep doing it, I think
Also,
PSG.
Mbappe seemed actually a little bit better in last two matches because I saw some link ups with him and Messi. I haven't seen them before with Mbappe like this like those you can expect them from a Spanish player, like those one twos and back flicks and stuff like that. And like I have seen that actually. And if he decides some points, like if he wants to join the Real Madrid, those are things to learn, for him as well.
Well, that's a different conversation. Let's not bring Real Madrid here. But yeah, I mean, I'm fairly optimistic about how they see now after the World Cup. Would be the players' motivation? Don't know. What's going to be the knockout games in Champions League? Don't know
Yeah,
about it. Yeah, let's move on to some other groups.
Real.
Yeah, I just talked about a little bit about Real Madrid getting beaten by Leipzig, but still they're sitting handsomely on top. Leipzig looks to be second team. I mean, still Shakhtar is on the go. There's a chance for them too. But your um, your analysis of this group,
This is how you beat Real Madrid.
yeah, it was quite a convincing win.
Yeah, true. Um, up until that last few minutes, Real Madrid was not even in the game, and I can understand some reason, like they played in a different shape also. Like Rodrigo was there, not Benzema. Benzema was injured before, so um, it sort of makes sense in a way, and they looked a little bit tired um, as well. I guess like it's because of also like Clasico was there, and there were some big matches as well, so it makes sense. And Real is not the team, like they always like for some reason they optimize the efficiency, if it makes sense. Um, like they, if it is a knockout game, Leipzig would never come out top,
Yeah, probably.
if it
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, makes sense.
Um, they even like scored in the last minutes, so they could have actually come back if Benzema or some other striker was there, but they did not. So let's, in a way, it sort of like keep them thinking, about keep them in check. It's good for them actually, in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah. Uh,
But for Leipzig, it's like a
it was very important
great,
win for them, right?
yeah, it's a great chance to like go to the second round.
If they can beat Shakhtar, and Shakhtar, if Shakhtar starts to play like what they've done to Leipzig in the first round, then Shakhtar might be going in. So it's
Shakhtar has actually like quite a like, great players right now.
yeah, some young talents too. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
good to see this bunch of players. But can we move into Group E? Chelsea, Milan, Salzburg, and Dynamo Zagreb.
yeah. Milan scored for free against
Yeah,
Zagreb.
yeah.
I actually have hope something good coming, but well, how Rafael Leo played that game, it was unbelievable. So they're,
Chelsea on the top though.
yeah, I know, but for Milan, if they lose the game, it would be doubt for them. So they're going also like making it to the second round, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, like for them it's good because like how they, if you remember, we criticized Milan, how they were playing in the Champions League last season. So it's a way better, how can I say, performance for them. But for Chelsea, like Chelsea is like too strong for those clubs, And Salzburg actually put on a great fight, but how could I say? Chelsea is still uh, too strong, and they still have like a big players in their squad.
yeah. Uh, The other group uh, is really open. I think this is the only group that is anything can happen. This is Group D.
Yeah, Tottenham.
Tottenham sitting at this point top. Sporting, Eintracht Frankfurt, and Marseille. Uh, I mean, I don't know who is going there.
Next match is Tottenham versus Marseille
Frankfurt
and
versus
Frankfurt versus
Sporting.
Sporting. So it would be fun to watch actually. Um, I hope Tottenham like goes out of the tournament because if
Why is
because
that?
then
You're an Arsenal fan. That's why.
then
Come on.
no, not really. Frankfurt will have some sort of chance.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
It makes sense because I'm in Germany, so like I would root for a German team naturally.
Okay. Fair
Um,
enough.
yeah, also like Spurs is our enemy, so like why two
two,
plus two is
two,
not
two,
four?
two birds in one stone. Yeah. Why
Yeah,
not? Um,
but how Marseille is playing so far is interesting, and Sporting is like hanging in there
yeah. They're
for
not
some
knocked out
in
yet. Yeah.
some way. I don't know, but
Quite incredible if you think about it. Uh,
yeah, exactly. Like a Sporting, i- yeah, that game we talked against Sporting, right? Tottenham versus Sporting, that penalty decision
yeah. The, well,
last week.
yeah. The other group was pretty mundane. Obviously, Bayern and Inter already through. Barcelona with all the spending.
Funny thing is that like if Marseille win against Tottenham,
Yeah.
then and um, one of those teams, oh no, wait. Let me. If Marseille wins against Tottenham,
They
then
would be on the
Tottenham's point would be
9 point.
8,
Yeah.
and Marseille will be like
Nine.
9.
Nine. And the
And
others would be on 8 if the other
yeah,
game gets drawn.
if they draw,
Hmm.
then everything will be like the same. So for the goal difference, uh, Tottenham will go then, right?
Mm, no, Sporting.
No. Tottenham
Oh,
goal
yeah.
difference is last.
Tottenham will go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, it will be tough. So so like if one of this team win, Frankfurt, then Marseille is going, and then uh,
Somehow you want Tottenham to be conspired out. Um, well, let's.
the other team will be the group champion.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's a good
yeah.
good way to end this group.
Some of the Arsenal fans. But yeah, coming back to Group C, obviously Bayern and Inter is going through.
Yeah,
Barcelona.
but was it a surprise? Because I was doing something else and I was checking Inter game, and then okay, 4-0. Okay, then that's it.
No, it wasn't surprise.
But
Given Inter
but
just hitting
how?
the form, but how bad it is for Barcelona?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was unwatchable almost. Like oh my god,
They
like I
produced
haven't seen.
garbage. They haven't had a shot in the goal, and that Bayern team was not really full
No,
strength.
they're giving the ball away like in the middle of the pitch for no reason. Like they're just making bad passes, and there seems like no motivation. Even though that team
Needs the
beaten
win.
by
Yeah,
yeah beaten by Bayern like in 8-2 that game, they were actually like making moves, but
yeah.
this team did not actually like it. It was actually like not in the scoreline, but it was worse than that defeat.
Actually,
Like it is.
I read somewhere if they had a beaten Bayern and beaten, I think the last game was Victoria Pleasant, right? If
Mhm.
they beat those two teams, they could have make up like 3 million or something because of the certain certain differences, and some of the revenues comes in, but obviously they
No,
didn't.
in every win in the Champions League, they will get you will get some money.
Some
It's sort of
bonus.
like that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, some bonus, winning bonus and stuff like that. And also like, um, if you those are like they are for them. Those are like their solid money because like the rights they have given in the future, they will get like less and less money for a while. So the thing is that like those are like the solid money from for them actually,
Yeah. Yeah.
if it makes sense.
It does.
But I don't understand like in
But
the
they
middle of
they
the
didn't
season.
have
So
any
also,
shot on the goal.
if, but is it surprising for you like they did not have
No, no,
any
no. It
shot?
is
Because
surprising because Barcelona
how?
playing in
Like
Camp
because
Nou. Come
no
on,
no no
there
no
has to be
no
someone at least going in from midfield to win shot.
no actually it doesn't it does actually make sense because Pedri was playing as a left winger, Frankie Ringo is a left midfielder,
Ah,
and Busquets is in the center position, and Cassie is there. And for some reason, Busquets decided to move up. I don't know why, or if it's like Frankie's nobody is like checking back, so like there was a big huge gap, and he's not actually like how can I say connecting the other two midfielders. So Frankie, who's like running ups and downs all the time, he's like completely lost, and Cassie is trying to block whoever playing in the left wings, mostly um, Alfonso Davies, um, and like that total because Alfonso Davies is playing like overlapping, so
yeah.
he's in that full space, so he's taking out of Cassie from half space to that full space of that side, in the right side. So like there was a huge gap for Mane and everyone else to play in the middle. And I wouldn't actually blame those poor defender who played that game, uh, but except Hector Bellerin, because both of these two goals actually, because they set that offside trap, and Bellerin was like running. He did not even know like notice that like his two of his defender
Yeah, it
is
just
like 2 3 yards behind him,
he was just
and he's still running back with the winger.
Mane. Yeah, I think he was too much worried about the pace of Mane. But that
He
happened.
still have pace, and Mane will run with the ball. You
Well,
know.
no, no, no. He's coming back from injury, and obviously he's rusty. He didn't have game time, right? He was thrown in.
Yeah, then why playing him? Like there are other
Well,
players.
well, then who's gonna play in the right back?
He played Balde in the match before as a right back, and he did quite well. Also, like he will play against
Well, if you have
someone in the
three left back on the team, left wing back,
but it doesn't
and
matter
one of them you
because
play playing as a like Alonso is not your center back.
no. But if it could have actually worked if they played like a three in the back, you know,
Yeah.
then it could have actually worked. Uh, but like well, what surprised me like they're playing a important game and they need to score before anything else, and they played Pedri as a winger,
Well, it
and
came from the doubt that was created because right now they don't know what's the best 11 and who's going to play what role and stuff like that. So they're experimenting
it's not a day for an experiment, like
against Bayern Munich. Yeah, sure.
against Bayern Munich. And I saw that message, like Thomas Muller is making like, "Hello, Levi, we are coming." It was fun to watch, like he's hilarious, uh, Thomas Muller. But funny thing is that like
But if you see the goals of Bayern, it was just one pass or two pass, and they're
yeah,
almost there.
of course, because they tried played against Hoffenheim this way. They tried playing against like some other teams because who pressed up. So they have this sort of practice, and with like they're one of the central midfielder that I mentioned, like Cassie taken out of the game because of the space of the Davis, you know. Uh, so they can have some like space in between the that two central midfielder like Busquets and De Young. So they can actually make those passes easily, more easily than you imagine. And also like playing not playing Gabi, because Gabi is one of the player who can actually like press up and get results. That's another issue. Like that's how you like continue to attack and attack. And there were like so many plain passes, so many of them. I don't know like how if it's like 60% they have ball position. I'm not sure, but
But for what, really?
still, yeah, it doesn't make sense. So many things like I don't understand. Like I saw the squad, and uh, one of my friend was visiting at the time, and he was like how can I say he wanted to watch that whole game, but for me it was so boring. I was like falling asleep or stuff like
Yeah, no, fair enough. Let's not spend more time on it. Um, so that group is pretty done and dusted. The group B was about Club Brugge, Brugge, Porto, Atletico Madrid, Leverkusen. So what a game again for Atletico Madrid and
that. Atletico
Leverkusen.
Madrid.
How do you define it? Especially the last
Um,
5 minutes.
it, it's crazy with it's always for some reason it's always crazy with Atletico because they refuse to go out
Yeah,
uh, without a bang. Um, Yeah, but that penalty, if Deepol is taking that penalty, it could have been in.
yeah. I think he was looking for it, but obviously Saul. Saul, it's not about just a penalty. He didn't pass few times. I mean, the one time he passed, DePaul obviously scored, but that's sorry, not Saul. We're talking about Carrasco.
Carrasco.
Carrasco,
Yeah,
and also Saul's header got into the crossbar.
yeah,
But that's the other part of the Atletico team that it's not a because I've seen the game and there were players like at one time if they would have passed DePaul who was free, he could have knocked it down. But they chose to pass it to the other side to Griezmann or something. Um, yeah, again, I don't have much to add, but Leverkusen, good for
but
them.
then they really need a like a generational change, if it makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, those players have experience, but you don't need them for every matches. And they need players like Deepol, more of them actually. Right now. But one of the good thing is that like Griezmann is back
yeah,
so far.
Griezmann is playing very
Um,
well. Yeah,
he's like his old self so far, which is actually bad for Felix. But um, I'm not sure if he's ever going to play or like in full matches, Felix. But
he scored twice against the. They lost versus Cadiz, who's struggling in the relegation zone. So yeah, Felix scored twice, I think. But talking about
but it's against Cadiz.
yeah, but those goals are scorcher. Like say for example, today Leo Messi scored a scorcher. It if you put say the best keeper Courtois on the post, that would have been still a goal. I think I'd say that for the Joao Felix goal as well. The quality of the goal is that good. But coming back to Atletico, I mean, the problem of Felix is it's not con like consistent. There's not much consistency on there. So and also you almost think that the players they have and the style they have doesn't go hand to hand.
Yeah, exactly. Also, they can actually sell some of those players and make some money and try to bring some midfielders actually, and also some defenders especially. Right now their defense is not that solid at all, and Atletico is actually like this. If you compare El Cholo's success, it's actually based on the solid defense. Like they barely scored, concede a goal
But
in matches,
but
important
they
matches.
always had at least one defender who could bring the ball out, and used to have very good fullbacks. I mean, uh, but not anymore. Um, I think,
No,
except
I
Molina. Molina is doing well, but on the left side they have problem.
but it's not always in the both side they played, because if you remember, like sometimes uh, Juan Fran was attacking,
Felipe
and
Luis,
when Juan Fran was attacking, Felipe Luis was sitting deep, and when Felipe is attacking, then Juan Fran was actually Felipe Luis only attacked like twice or three times
in the game. Yeah,
before he, yeah. So if it makes sense,
but
and
but yeah,
they're most of the
talking.
time, most of the time they are in the counter attack. So like fullbacks rarely go get into that.
No, no, for Cholo's team, it's important to have a attacking fullback. Say, for example, Trippier was doing well. Um, but let's coming back to this particular penalty incident. It's curious because referee have blown the final whistle, and then obviously he's almost going to the VAR to check, and obviously decided to that's a penalty. Uh, and
They
Griezmann
are actually almost
and
done.
yeah, exactly. And Griezmann missed so many important penalties, so he's not taking them. And Carrasco's
Actually, Deepal, what I said, Deepal made sense, more sense, because I saw him like taking penalties with Argentina national team. Uh,
no, he did for Udinese, his ex team too.
Udinese, yeah,
Yeah,
also. I know he's like cool in those sort of situation, like. But also, I guess like there are actually. I guess Koke was there. I'm not sure if I'm not
Coco was not
mistaken.
probably playing that game.
Oh, okay. But yeah, there are other players, who can take um, that penalty.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but who's that? Even the Saul's header coming from the bar, and I think
Completely pure.
someone else put the ball back, and it was Carrasco because he was standing. he he almost cleared from the line. So uh,
Yeah, his leg got in the way.
yeah, so it's a funny way to go out. But yeah, Club Brugge and I think is it Porto? Not
Um,
yeah, Porto. They're
Porto. Yeah.
they're going for the
No, not really. Still one match.
well. If even Atletico wins, they'll be in 8 points. The others, Porto is on 9, and the Club Brugge in 10.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
both are
So
qualified. Um, Obviously, can we move to Group A? It's almost decided. Obviously, Napoli and Liverpool both are going in. Um, Ajax is already out. Rangers is out. I think Rangers is probably one of the worst team in this entire Champions League.
and Ajax is also like in the rebuilding phase, so
Yeah,
they are conceding a lot.
yeah, they're not doing well. But we talked about Napoli a bit in Syria. How and we talked a little bit of Liverpool. I mean, how much you want to talk about this group?
Mm, not much actually, but I am hoping like one of this team like Napoli or Benfica make a deeper run in the Champions League. But most likely on Napoli probably will make it to the quarter final if they become group champion. I guess like if they lose the game, uh, even though they lose the game, but not by like 4 5 goals. I guess like yeah, no. Even though they lose the game, they will be the group champion. So
We're talking about Napoli losing the game.
Napoli, yeah,
Uh,
Napoli
uh,
losing the game,
uh,
but I highly doubt that actually
yeah,
at this moment.
especially
And even though they,
Anfield. I mean, all they have to do is getting Arteta's music box. Um,
yeah, they can ask Arteta about the process, process to beat Liverpool.
but yeah, somehow I never really trusted Spalletti so much. But yeah, somehow they're doing really well. Not somehow there's a lot of brilliant players, and I'm probably undermining Spalletti as a coach as well. And he's saying by himself he never had such a good team to coach.
Actually, like it makes a lot of sense, and also like what I mentioned when I was talking about Napoli, like getting rid of those players. It was the right time, and also like, if you think about that president, I mentioned this in the last episode. He's not actually giving anyone for like cheap, so they will get actually more better player than this group, and it will be actually one of if one of those players are going out, it's probably the Maradona.
Yeah,
So
Kvaratskhelia
far,
he's been linked highly on the European top giants. Um,
yeah,
yeah,
but
and maybe Victor Osimhen because he was linked with Chelsea for a long time.
yeah, Oshimin, but it depends on also whoever is going to the Champions League spot,
Yeah,
at least for the English team.
yeah,
Um, and also like United is also looking for him. Um, if they make it to, then uh, Oshimin actually makes sense for Ten Hag team.
yeah, yeah. Um, that's all. Oh, that's almost about it. Should have just mentioned that. Can we talk a little bit about Copa Libertadores final?
Yeah, I actually missed it.
Yeah, me too. I haven't watched, but I just watched the highlights. I think just to mention it, Flamengo win it, and also
Again.
yeah, and Gabriel Barbosa, he should be the I think the South American treasure for scoring three different finals and winning it. So I think that almost books his chance of getting into Brazilian team. Hopefully,
But
but
what about Pedro
his teammate,
Pedro Porro?
yeah, his teammate.
Yeah,
One of them. It could be one of them. But Gabriel is a like Barbosa. He seems to be a big game player. Uh, he always comes big when the big occasion demands.
yeah. Like whenever they're playing against like a team like from Uruguay or Ecuador. Those teams are like digging deep, and also like they are a lot of physical, and he actually like bring them out, Barbosa.
Yeah,
So uh,
and there's a lot
it
of
could be,
Flamengo supporters in the continent. Obviously, taking nothing away from the other team, Atletico Paranaense. I think they're a brilliant team as well, and also Palmeiras, one of the giants in Brazilian football right now. But Flamengo winning it again makes quite a statement for entire thing that Flamengo stands for. I think for last few years.
actually, yeah, actually like uh, so far, if I'm not mistaken, like it is favored by some Brazilian government officials or something like, or president. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's actual
Um,
president.
President, okay. So they have some resources to bring the best players out of Brazil so far.
And also appoint some of the heavy money transfers. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, also like Brazilian football like is going through a transitional points, like with the after COVID, and
Yeah,
during the COVID we talked about the suffer, like some of the club officials actually,
and
for some
they're
clubs
actually
they
doing
work for
financially well,
free. Yeah,
better than others. Say Argentina. I think the inflation right now is 83%,
yeah.
and the other neighbors who would be the biggest challenger. But yeah, I think right now Still, South America, it's still South America. They're not doing that well compared to European clubs counterparts, but it's a big win.
Yeah, and it will be good to see them in the uh,
Club World Cup
what the Club World Cup, yeah, again.
oh, again, but this time no Liverpool. Hopefully,
Let's see.
let's see.
Real Madrid will be there.
Yeah, Real Madrid will be there, but I don't have anything else to add really.
Is that match actually happened? That Argentine
Oh, right,
league
I
match.
haven't actually talked about it. Yeah, that was
I
crazy.
actually missed it
That
actually
actually
as well.
that was last Sunday. That was crazy. Um, Everyone thought that River Plate might just lose against Racing. They didn't. Armani saved a straightforward penalty. I think it was 2-2. If they scored, they would have been in a position. Also, Boca won versus Independiente. So Boca Juniors became the champion. Huge credit to Luca Langoni, who basically won them at least 9 points, 8 9 points, and also Rossi. I think the best goalkeeper in Argentina, Argentine league. I think he saved some amazing shots, um, and
He
he's a
did it against the Super Classico, like
yeah
in Super Classico, both
yeah
of them actually.
yeah, and
The earlier this season also.
he was keeping Boca even in the Libertadores for long. I mean, in the penalties, he saved almost always. So I think he deserved to be. I don't know. I think Armani would still be there in Argentine team, but I think Rossi is definitely in a better form. That's just
So, but Emi Martinez will be there.
yeah. But Emi had a hiccup today, right? He got
Yeah,
injured.
but it's like
Yeah, but
I'm not
then
sure.
what's your backup is Geronimo Rulli, Armani, and
Ruli is I don't see him actually like
well, he's right now the backup.
Armani I can understand. He actually played probably in the last match. Uh,
Yeah, but
yeah, he played.
Rulli is there, and I think Juan Musso is getting fit again. Um, but other than that, I think one of the Boca's Loni Ratagui is one of the revelation of the season. He played for Tigre, scored some very scored some amazing goals, and also the Racing striker, I think Copetti,
Mm.
he's getting a lot of attention as well. So let's see. But it's so close, 1 point um, for Racing and Boca. Boca eventually winning it, but Boca should give more trust to their youngsters and because they have the players. They have the
They haven't played them actually well so
no,
far.
they have the players and resources actually that they're so talented they actually can go. I wouldn't be surprised if the next 2 years they keep those youngsters and can actually even win Libertadores. I think that's what they're targeting.
And this is fairly a new team, I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
lots of 19, 20 years old. It's getting there. And if Barcelona
also
is
coach is
looking,
new.
if Barcelona is looking for Busquets replacement, they have in I think the very closest number five right now is Alan Varela. Uh, his playing style, his passing, his interceptions is like almost like young Busquets. Uh, so I don't know who's scouting South America.
No, they're scouting in Brazil so far. I know the 17-year-old. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I know what 16 to 17 year old. I understand.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah.
a Palmeiras Palmeiras kid or something.
Palmeiras. Yeah.
No, I totally get that. But if you're looking for a cheap but similar type of player of Busquets, I think it is going to be tough competition in the number five position in Argentina. national team in future. I can see Varela, if he keeps it up, he can definitely challenge someone like Enzo Fernandez.
Mm. Um. Also, I wanted to add something. Actually, forgot.
Yeah, and as they say, they have the Argentine Roberto Carlos on the left wing back, and they have Zeballos if he was fit, and then you have Langoni. So this is a very very interesting team that is shaping up for Boca. Let's see.
But the coach is like really conservative, you know.
I think they've sacked that coach,
Oh, okay.
but this new coach is all right. I mean, he's a little better, but it's let's see in the next.
But it's Buka's philosophy, you know, like, but we haven't seen attacking Buka for a while, you
Yeah,
know.
for a long time. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's see.
Even though they have better players, they are not actually that attacking. I
I
think.
think they have to because those players that are coming in
Mhm.
deserves an attacking team.
Yeah, but there was this funny documentary. It's not like funny documentary. It's like about Boca and River Plates. I probably shared it to you, and they actually were talking about like Boca supporters were talking about like because they were actually based on those Italian immigrants from Italy to Argentina. There are like so many Italian influence in Argentine culture,
Yeah.
and Italian like those immigrants actually works in the root level of
Hmm.
Argentina
Hmm.
structure. So like they have this, like a hang in there or stuff like philosophy as a club. Compared to River Plate is like it's sort of like compared to the rich people's club,
Hmm.
they have this philosophy and stuff like that actually, like players like Ortega and he played for them. There are so many players, so there are like a sort of like a Pep Guardiola and Mourinho or some stuff like that going on for hundreds of years.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
they
obviously.
were actually talking about that actually. It would be hard for Boca to play like that, but those players actually required, like a little bit
Yeah.
attacking football,
Yeah.
or at least sort of like a um, 90s Manchester United football, like both attack and defense and stuff like that.
Well, let's see. But again, the whole season, I think there are some good teams in between, such as we talked about Racing being there. They're one of the top teams, shaping very well under Gakpo.
Old Boys actually had good team. I'm not sure about that.
Newell's just appoint.
Yeah,
I think appointing Gabriel Heinze, uh,
yeah.
and let's see how that goes as well. It could be interesting. Tevez is doing well in the Rosario Central. Um, who else is there? Is Hurukan is actually played some good games. I think uh, even teams like Tigre and that.
Huracan is going to play in the Libertadores next season.
I think
Or,
so. I think
or
so. But what is most fascinating is that the Argentine Cup winner Patronato is a second division or third division team, and according to the rule, whoever wins the cup gets a spot. So yeah, they're going to.
that would be fun, actually.
Yeah, I don't know about that. How much fun
But
that is.
do you know where is what's his name? The River coach.
Yeah,
Gashado.
I have no clue.
Where is
Where
this
is he?
going?
Not 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 really clear yet.
Maybe Barcelona.
Well, is that? No, I don't think so. No, no,
I don't think so
no.
as well. But yeah, like there are so many things actually. Like what he built so far with River, with all those years. I think like some Spanish club, like probably Sevilla,
Yeah,
Villarreal.
or someone like some of his old
Actually,
old
Unai
teams.
Emery
like Monaco or something. Maybe a good fit
Monaco actually makes sense in a way, you know.
because he played
They
there.
have big academy, yeah.
He played there. Um, or even PSG at some point, maybe. Who knows if Galtier doesn't end up in the
For
Champions League.
some reason, I can see Galtier is staying at least one more season.
Let's see. Yeah, PSG. There's a lot of drama, right? Yeah,
Yeah, if they're not beating, uh, yeah, they're getting beat in the second round of quarter.
yeah, yeah. Okay, I don't have much to add.
No,
I think
me neither.
it's a couple of hours so far. But yeah, thank you again. Wrapping it up on that note. If you're watching,